Hello everyone, what is up and welcome back to the channel iRobust. Today's video is going to be the review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 in 2024. So it's been a few years since the phone came out, so I thought maybe we should a revised review. How is it working in 2024? Better than when it came out? How is the phone holding up after all these years of usage, and everything else is going to be the real world testings and the experiences. So you all know how this works. So without further ado, let's get started right into the review. So here's the phone. Just like in all our reviews, the first thing that we take a look is the physical phone itself. So firstly, we take a look at the phone right over here. The front is just the display, followed by the front facing camera at the top. At the top over here, we can see here we've got two microphones. At the right side, we've got the volume rockers, followed by the power button and the wireless antenna over here. It's a black color phone, so it's kind of harder to see. And at the bottom, we've got the USB-C port, followed by the SIM card tray and the speakers. And if you take a look at the back, we've got the entire camera setup here, but we're going to be coming back to the camera later on. So the overall weight of this phone is 227 grams. The front is a Gorilla Glass Victus and the back is also Gorilla Glass Victus, followed by aluminum frame at the sides. And this phone supports dual SIM, at the same time eSIM 2. So you can put dual SIM or an eSIM 2 inside this phone. The first thing that we're going to do is to run the Geekbench. We're going to run the CPU and the GPU benchmark. So firstly, let's run the CPU benchmarks. So once the GPU benchmark is done, we will take a look at the results together at once. Okay, so here we go. These are the results for the CPU benchmark. The CPU benchmark, it scored a 1426 for single core and 3472 for multi-core. As for the GPU, it scored a total score of 6258. As always, the Geekbench scores are just a rough estimation and it doesn't show the real world testings. And as for the heat on this phone, the top part of the phone is hot, whereas the bottom part is not warm, but the top is actually quite significantly hot. The display is a 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display, and this has a brightness of up to 1500 nits peak brightness. That's the maximum that you can go, and that is really useful in outdoor environments. The size of the screen is 6.8 inch, and the resolution is 1440 by 320 with approximately 515 pixels per inch density, and the phone does have always on display. So here I've got a 4K video running, so let's take a look at how the display is. The brightness is at a decent level, just nice for watching, so let's take a look and see how it is. To me, I feel like the display doesn't bring up the 4K quality. Just like how I've seen other latest Samsung phones, I feel like the display is not that good. Even though it's an AMOLED display, I feel like the quality is really kind of bad compared to newer phones. But what do you think about it? Just leave it in the comments below. Okay, so now we're done with the screen, and the next thing that we're going to test is the speakers. So as usual, I've got the usual NCS that we're going to play. So now let's play it, and before that, let me just increase it to maximum volume first. There we go. It's at maximum volume. Now we're going to be playing the music. Those speakers were really great, no complaints. I'm pretty sure you can definitely amplify it. Pretty sure these speakers are going to be really great even in outdoor environments. Now as for the technical specifications, this phone has 256GB of internal storage and 12GB of RAM. Other than that, this phone is rocking a Samsung Exynos 2100 octa-core CPU, and even despite all these years, the phone is really responsive and really fast, as you can see. Now that we're done with every single testing on this phone, the last thing that I want to do is the camera test. This is a quad camera setup. The first camera is a 108 megapixel wide camera with aperture of f1.8. The second camera is a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with aperture of 2.4. The third camera is the periscope telephoto camera, which is 10 megapixel. It has optical image stabilization. It can optically zoom up to 10 times. And the last camera is the 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Now, before we test out the cameras, I just want to give a quick mention to my favorite features on the camera. This phone has a lot of camera modes. It's not just about the technical specifications at times, mostly it's just about how AI enhances the cameras. It's all about the post-processing. Nowadays, cameras, the megapixels and the cameras doesn't really matter that much. It's the post-processing that really matters. So this phone has a lot of features like expert RAW, night mode, food, portrait video, super slow-mo, hyperlapse and director's view. For those of you who have watched all my previous Samsung reviews, you all know that the director's view is my favorite features of all. So now let's quickly do the usual small camera test that we do in all our reviews. So let's quickly do that. This is a selfie photo that I took from the front facing camera of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Take a look at it and let me know how is it in the comments below. Okay, so here we are recording from the front facing camera of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. I'm currently recording in Ultra HD 60 FPS. This is the highest quality that we can record on the front facing cameras. How is the audio quality? How is the video quality? Take a look at it. Let me know how is it in the comments below. Okay, here I am recording from the rear camera of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Take a look at it. Let me know how is it in the comments below. And this I'm recording in the highest quality possible, which is 8K. But of course, for y'all have to let me know how is it, because after post-processing, how is it? Do let me know in the comments below. So this is a photo of my MacBook that I took from the rear camera of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I took it in the highest quality possible. So take a look at it. Let me know how is it in the comments below. For me, I feel like the contrast is slightly darker, but what are your comments? Just leave in the comments below. I would love to read them. As for the battery of this phone, the battery is a 5000 mAh non-removable lithium-ion battery. It can be charged up to 25 watts via wired charging, and by wireless charging, you can charge up to 15 watts. To achieve the 15 watts wireless charging, you have to use a Qi compatible charging. And this phone even have reverse wireless charging up to 4.5 watts. Just remember to use it only for emergency purposes, because it really drains your phone's battery a lot. The next thing we're going to test is the graphics on this phone. We're going to test how good the graphics is, and for that it's always the Wildlife Extreme benchmark. So we're going to be running this, and once this is done, we're going to be doing the real world testing of testing while playing a game. So let's quickly run the 3-mark Wildlife benchmark. That was a pretty fast test, around 5 minutes. The overall score was 1672 and the average frame rate is 10 frames per second. The temperature was around 36 to 39 degrees, frame rate 7 to 13 FPS. Not really the ideal ones that we want, because we're looking at really a 90 plus FPS. Now that we are done with testing, it's time for some real world gaming. Of course, you all know that I always like to benchmark using the original Temple Run game, because that is where it really stutters in a lot of newer phones. This just has been my style. I just feel like there's something lacking in this screen. Like I said in my screen test, I feel like there is something that is lacking in this screen. I'm not really sure what it is, but I feel like the screen is probably not up to quality on this phone. It's just something that is really bothering me. I'm not really sure what it is. So that is it for my review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra in 2024. Overall, we have tested the phone, we have taken a look at it, and the first thing that I want to say, that I keep mentioning in this review, is the display. I feel like there's something wrong in the display. I'm not really sure what the problem is actually, but the display is really not up to quality and I don't really like it. And that's one thing, but other than that, the speaker is good. The performance, I would say it's average. In the end, let's take a look at the used market of this phone, like we always do. A fully working phone is around $400 to $450. If you're taking a look at the phone that it's having slight damages, like maybe the display has a line or something, that's maybe $100 or $200, but you might not want to risk it, right? So that's around $400 for this phone. So if you ask me, do you want to spend $300 to $400 on this phone to get this phone in 2024? My answer would be no, don't go for it. But if you're already using this phone and if it's working well for you, then sure, go ahead. You can continue using it. Might want to just upgrade to it if you feel like it. But if you're going to be buying it now in 2024, I think I would recommend you to go for slightly higher, bump your budget slightly higher, maybe increase around $200 to $300, get the S22 Ultra, which is much better. Yeah, I'm definitely not recommending you to get the S21 Ultra, because this is not the phone they want to get, because it's really quite an old design, not really a modern one like we have. And secondly, the price, I feel like it's overpriced. So that's actually been it for my review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra in 2024. I've put in all my thoughts, we've retested the phone. So if you have missed out anything, do leave it in the comments below, but I think I've covered pretty much everything. And of course, your thoughts and your experiences in using the S21 Ultra. If you have been using this phone, or if you have any interesting things to share about that you have with this phone, do leave in the comments below. Definitely love to read them. With that, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, get subscribed, turn on notifications, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. Bye bye.